So how about a nice warm welcome for my friend Scott Theg?
Thank you, Kurt. Yeah, August 3rd, I had a stroke, and I lost my right hand and my right arm. And there's one place where you might rather have a stroke, and that's when you're playing golf. Right, Rob? Okay, that's a bad one. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, okay, so this is really like a story, and then I do a little singing at the end. So the first part is going to be a setup, then the story, and then the song. So the setup is in 1984, I got my electrical engineering degree from UMass Dartmouth. I majored in both digital and microwave. Then I got a job at Sanders in Manchester at the microwave division, and I worked there for about a year. And then after a year, I wanted to buy some land and build a house. And I was looking at Deerfield, New Hampshire. $40,000 for 5 acres. Well, in the union, and I was only making $26,000 a year at the time. So that's a lot of money. So I also in the Union Leader was another advertisement for real estate, and it was 40 acres for $15,900. Now I can do the math because I was an engineer. Now, and that land was up near North Conway, and I was in the Boy Scouts, and so I really loved that area. So my dad and I, we went up there. It was like March. I went in sneakers. He went in regular low shoes, and there was 1.5 feet of snow up there, and this real estate person dragged us through the woods in all that snow, and so I ended up buying it, and I wanted to. So it basically is a 2-mile road, dirt road, that is privately owned by the association, road association. Everybody's got 20 acres or 40 acres. So I became the president of the association, and what I wanted to do was defray costs for the association by getting together in August, September, and just cutting back the brush. So we did that one year. I was in my early 30s, and we did that. And over the course of between 10 and 4 p.m., I drank 4 beers and some water. And then I wanted to go to Barnaby's in North Conway, and it had rock music. And there was a guy there who was a friend of one of the owners, and he decided he'd come with me. Now, I had this old truck, a GMC 3/4 ton, and it was probably 15 years old, and it was originally gold, but somebody hand-painted it red. And so all the paint was like curling up. Anyway, so we got in the truck and we went to Barnaby's, and it started from like 8 till 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had a beer, and then I realized that's my 5th beer. Oh my God! But it was like over a long time, but I didn't know that at the time. I was in my early 30s, so I drank 1 or 2 Diet Cokes after that, and then the band got done at 1 o'clock in the morning, and. And then we got into the truck and we drove from Freiburg to Brownfield, which is where the property is on 113. We're driving along. Now this truck had so much play in the wheel, in the driver's wheel, that I used to get pulled over from going from Nashua to Allenstown, New Hampshire, where I lived at that point, 2 or 3 times by cops thinking I was DEE WEE, because the truck was like all over the road. So once you know it, right, 1:30 in the morning, I get the blue light special. And there's this guy sitting next to me. He was going through a divorce, but he went with me. And anyway, so I pull over the truck, the lights stay on, and it was an automatic, so I didn't have a problem driving it, just keeping it on the road. And this cop comes over. He was young. He was probably in his mid-20s, and I was in my early 30s. And he says, "License and registration." So, okay, give him my license and registration. I already had it ready for him. Give it to him. And he comes back. Gives it back to me. "Okay, Mr. Theg, get out of the truck." I'm like, holy shit. So he tells me, "Get in front of the truck and walk the white line 10 paces. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I get on the white line, and being an engineer, I said, "Well, what do you want, heel to toe? Or how do you want me to walk?" He goes, "Heel to toe," right? So I start walking heel to toe. And then over my left shoulder, I said, "How do you want me to turn around? About face?" I was in the Boy Scouts. "About face!" So I did an about face, come back. No problem. Then he's in another test for me. "Mr. Theg, I want you to lean back and find your nose with your right index finger." I'm like, I don't even think I could do that stone cold sober. Holy moly. So I leaned back, and I found my nose, and I was feeling pretty good. Then he says, do it with your left hand. At which point I started putting up some resistance. I said, you know what, that's not fair. I'm not left-handed. Do it! So, okay, I lean back, and I find my nose with my left hand, and I was like, oh, I was ecstatic.
Was it in the same place?
What? Yeah, the nose was in the same place. Thanks, Al. I really miss you. And then, okay, for test number 3, he says, I want you to say your ABCs.
Backwards.
No, he didn't, it wasn't that. This was like back in the early 90s, so we hadn't advanced that far, I guess, at that point. So anyway, so I said, you know, that's not fair, okay? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what E equals MC squared stands for. Because I was an engineer, and it has to do with Einstein's theory of relativity. Say your ABCs. So, okay, so I start saying A, B, C, D, and then I get the bright idea. I don't know where this came from. I said, officer, would you mind if I sing it to you? So I did. So I said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And then I locked eyes with him. And I said, now I've said my ABCs, tell me what you think of me. And he ordered me back in the truck and drive right to the entrance. And he followed me right to the entrance. And that was the last I saw of him. So that's my story. Thank you very much.
Welcome back, Scott. That was a good story, brother. All right, next up, we got another gentleman that comes here quite a bit. He plays the keys and he sings. He's getting ready to play his keys and sing for us.